Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little bit different and you can probably tell because I'm not in my room like I usually am. And I'm holding a coffee. Oh wait, that's not different at all. Today I've decided to start a new series on my channel and this is going to be Mask and Chats. So I'm going to talk to you about something and I'm also going to put on a mask because this skin needs it after being on a plane for so long. And today's topic is going to be the Jeffree Star London Masterclass. I know it happened quite a long time ago at this point, probably like 2 weeks ago, but I still thought I would chat about it because I haven't seen so many videos go up about it. So if you want to hear about the Jeffree Star Masterclass and maybe a little bit about my trip to the UK, just keep on watching. Okay, so the first step in my mask routine is I'm going to just kind of use this toner to remove any impurities since I was just recently asleep. This is the Thayers Witch Hazel Aloe Vera Formula Alcohol-Free Toner Facial Mist in Rose Petal. This is the same as their more traditional toner that you pour onto these little babies, but I like the spray better because I find that you don't have to use as many of these and you can just spray it on your face and there's less waste. But today I'm gonna use these because I'm using this as a preliminary cleanser as opposed to a toner. And because I just kind of feel like it, I'm gonna put this a little bit more all over my face. And I took my hair down for the intro of this video and now I'm gonna put it back up. Don't you love this exquisitely chic pony and my pajama shirt? Because it is 8:10 in the morning, I am going to be using a brightening mask so that I can look a little bit more awake. So this is the Wander Beauty Lift Off Purifying and Brightening Peel Off Mask. I'm gonna use this Warm Earth Cosmetics foundation brush, but I don't really use this kind of foundation brush, so this is just my go-to mask brush, and I'm going to apply this everywhere. Tip for peel off mask beginners, don't put it in your eyebrows. It won't pull them out, but it will hurt. Also, put a thick layer because when it dries, then you can finally get a satisfying peel as opposed to like a million little tiny peels. And then ultimately you'll have to wash off the remnants of the mask and then you just feel like you haven't done much. I was stupid and forgot my mirror, so I am using my monitor, which is my phone. Because your girl is not rich. Look, I did exactly what I didn't want to do. I got some of my eyebrows. Okay, so this mask says wait 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer on my iPad and then we can chat. Also, this mask says, this rose gold pearl peel off mask contains a skin loving blend of fruit extracts to heal, purify, and replenish dull skin. Perfect. Niacinamide helps reduce the appearance of wrinkles. Can you believe I'm 20 and I'm starting to have baby wrinkles on my forehead? I also have wrinkles underneath here, but that just might be tiredness. Niacinamide helps reduce the appearance of wrinkles and hyperpigmentation for more vibrant looking skin. Kaolin effectively absorbs excess oil, relieving congested skin and visibly reduced pores. Lift off dries quickly and peels away easily. Okay, leaving you with smoother, clearer, and brighter skin suitable for all skin types. All right, it's time to chat. So the Jeffree Star London Masterclass. I'm just gonna tell you from the beginning because that makes most sense in my head. So I arrived, there was quite a big line outside. I bought the least expensive tickets because money. And also they were in pounds, so if you know the UK pounds versus American exchange rate, it's quite a bit more expensive. So even if you look at the pounds, you'll be paying quite a bit more in American dollars. So the silver tier, the gold tier, and the VIP tier all got separate lines. Everyone there had their eye makeup done like beautifully, and of course that's what you expect. Nobody's gonna go to the Jeffree Star Masterclass without a full face. So I did this pink and navy eye look because the day before Jeffree Star had been in another location for a different masterclass, and MMMMitchell had done a like pink and navy eye on him, so I tried to take inspiration from that, but I tried to downplay it a little bit because I wasn't feeling super dramatic that day. So we got into the room. It was kind of a ballroom in a hotel, and we received our gift bags and our lanyards and our passes. So the way that those masterclasses work, I don't know if there are going to be more. I'm sure there will be, and I don't know if they're going to be set up quite the same way, but on the ticket and on the site they said that all of the seats are gonna have the same view, especially if you're in the same tier. So all the silver seats are gonna have the same view of Jeffree Star. That's not quite true, because the later you arrive and the farther back you are in line, the farther back you'll be placed in rows because the tickets are just in order. So I would suggest getting there early. Most people did. I was there at 5 and the masterclass was set to start at 5:30. I got a pretty okay seat. I could see everything, but I was third to last row. So when I walked in, I had my gift bag. There was a pop-up shop of Tatti lashes. It was really cute. They had tons of lashes and they were quite inexpensive. I believe they were £5 per lash. I don't know if that's the normal price. I've never bought Tatti lashes. I really hadn't heard of Tatti lashes before the masterclass, but my sister, who is doing a summer program, a theater program, needed some lashes, so I bought a bunch of lashes. I splurged on my glue, and I also got a lash applicator. I tried to purchase some of the less dramatic lashes because I barely put on lashes as it is, and I got a bunch of lashes in my gift bag, and those are more dramatic. So the ones that I purchased, I kept for myself, and then I gave the way more dramatic ones to my sister. It almost seemed like they gave us in the gift bag the lesser purchased ones, because they were either super fluffy and but almost fluffy to a point where it was entirely black lash, like you couldn't see any spaces in between it, or they gave us the really long ones, almost Halloween-esque ones, and I thought, okay, that'll be perfect for my sister, but those weren't the practical ones that I think they probably sell out the most of. But I mean, what do you expect? They're not gonna give you the prime stock of their lashes because they're just putting in things that they are probably selling less of. So I bought some of the more practical lashes and I quite like them. They're very soft. Anyway, so we got into the masterclass. There was only the Tatti Lashes pop-up shop. There was no other shop. I thought there would be Jeffree Star merchandise or Jeffree Star makeup, but there was nothing. It was a smaller space, so maybe they just couldn't afford to have that, but I know that at other master classes they had like other brands pop-up shops like Peaches and Cream, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, Jeffree Star merch. So I was surprised. I guess it's expensive to move all that stuff, and if you don't have a location in the city where the master class is going to be, it's hard to transport all that stuff. But I'm sure so many people were ready to spend their cash there and they just didn't take that opportunity. Guess I saved a little bit of money by not spending it on a hoodie or something. I forgot. They also had like a really cute display where you could sit in chairs in like a nice pink backdrop with Jeffree and MMMMitchell's photos behind them and take like a cute photo. The line was just too long and I didn't want to stand in line to have to ask someone else to take a picture of me because I was by myself, and even worse, I didn't know how to take a selfie in those beautiful chairs. So I was like, meh, I don't need a picture. Wish I had. I don't know why I do this, but when I spend money and then I go somewhere, sometimes I get nervous about what other people are gonna think of me when I'm there. So I don't take advantage of all the opportunities, like me being nervous about having to ask someone else to take a photo of me because I was by myself should not have deterred me from taking a freaking picture in the chair. I should have just done it. We waited a little bit. The masterclass started late, which you know, I wasn't expecting anything different. People were still kind of slowly arriving, even at 5:30. So the masterclass starts. Jeffree and MMMMitchell enter. It's a riot. Jeffree looks exactly like how he looks in his videos, just glamorous. He's wearing an all Gucci outfit. MMMMitchell is wearing like a nice, crisp, light colored suit, and they're like ready to go. And then they start the look, and a lot of the masterclass was them doing the makeup and responding to questions. And there were people with mics walking around, and they would let audience members ask questions. The question I asked was about colored mascara. I'm a really big fan of colored mascara. I feel like it's a really nice way to add a vibrant pop of color on the lower lash line, especially when you're wearing more of a neutral eye. So I asked Jeffree. He responded to me. But I asked Jeffree, would you ever come out with a range of colored mascaras? Because even though I quite enjoy the colored mascaras, they aren't that great. They don't stay for very long. They flake a little bit, they smudge a little bit, and at the end of the day, your eyelash looks not like the color that you initially applied. And he said that they were working on a mascara formula for Jeffree Star. Ooh, sneak peeks. It should come out in a year, but he said that he wasn't currently working on colored mascara formulas, which is fine. He said that they were notoriously hard to formulate, and that I can understand, and that they aren't as popular as the black and the brown mascaras, which also makes sense to me. But I also think that Jeffree Star is notorious for like his crazy, not traditional makeup items, like his black highlighter for Halloween or the green highlighter he just came out with. So, you know, I would think that that was right up his alley. So he sneak peeked the mascara formula coming in a year. He also sneak peeked his foundation was coming. I don't remember what the time frame for the foundation was, but it was coming sooner rather than later. He's working on it currently. He showed a new highlighter, but in like neutral packaging, so you couldn't tell what the collection was or anything. But guys, it's like a pearl on your face. MMMMitchell applied that highlighter, and the entire audience gasped. It is gorgeous. It is blinding. What Jeffree said it was is that he wanted it to look like your highlight when your face is face-tuned on Instagram. And boy, have you seen that lady who does the crazy highlight shots where she puts like a crystal in her highlight and then she puts her phone camera light on it and it just looks like a solar flare on her face? That's what that highlight looked like. And I was sitting in the back and they turned out the lights and you could just see this like highlight on his face, and it's probably coming sooner rather than later because, I mean, he had it already. So I'm definitely purchasing that. I don't know about you. So Jeffree sneak peeked that. Jeffree also spoke about the fact that he was coming out with 4 eyeshadow palettes soon, and the Shane Dawson collab is coming very soon. It's coming in the fall, but after Halloween. So it's not Halloween related, which is what a lot of people were thinking it was gonna be. All right, it's time to remove this mask. Yeah, it's pretty dry. Do you see that? Gross. Let's see how this goes. I think I did a good layer. He said that the Shane Dawson collection was coming after Halloween. So that's soon-ish. Jeffree also hinted at some collabs that he was doing this year. I have no idea what other collabs, maybe another Morphe collab, but I'd be surprised because a lot of people were saying that he had been working on these Morphe brushes for quite some time, and he had, but he needed to come out with them even though he has his own brand because he was probably working on his own brushes with his own line. At least that would make sense to me. So he needed to come out with the stuff that he had already signed a contract with Morphe for. So I'd be surprised if he did another collaboration with Morphe. Maybe he wants all of his brushes to come through Morphe because Morphe has a good brush. I'm trying to say formula, but that makes no sense. It's brushes. So I think this bit isn't completely dry yet. So I'm gonna go on to this part. So Morphe has a good brush reputation, so maybe he's coming out with more brushes with Morphe, I don't know. Maybe he's working with a different brand, I don't know. Maybe his cosmetics company is collaborating with someone else. And oh, Jeffree Star said that one of his collaborations was with a musician. So I don't know who that would be, but it would be interesting to see what that is. And he didn't say any time frame or anything, so I'm assuming that it's far away enough that he can't say much more. Someone asked him, you know, are you thinking about going back into music? And he said, I may already be working on something. So who knows, maybe we'll get some Jeffree Star music soon. Why isn't this coming out? Oh, okay. I think this part isn't completely dry, maybe? It's funny because half of it's already dry and some of it's not. Gross, look at my nose. I can't see that at all. I'm trying to think of anything else that he may have talked about. All the collabs, the highlight, the Jeffree Star foundation, the mascara, the like 100 palettes that he's coming out with. Of course, they used the Jawbreaker palette for most of the looks that he was doing, and an eyeliner, but he didn't say much more than that. He just like said, oh, well, they might be coming soon. And of course that means they are, but you know, that's as much as he can say at this point. The one like annoying thing that I found was that a lot of the questions that Jeffree got were questions from people who were clearly trying to have their big break right there and then. I guess like good for you for being ballsy, but at a certain point, you know Jeffree's not going to hear you say, oh, I just started my YouTube channel. Do you have any advice, or do you have any, you know, do you know about how I could grow my channel? Girl, you know what you want. What you're trying to ask for is for Jeffree to take your name and then shout you out on his channel and make you famous. Girl, you know what to do. You know what to do to grow your channel. You keep making good content and be interesting and promote yourself and work and be consistent in your uploads and be creative in your videos and kind of market yourself. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what it is. Of course, Jeffree Star shouting out your name on his channel would be really good for you. You'd probably get a lot of followers at that point, but why would he do that? He doesn't know you, he hasn't seen your work. It just seemed like a lot of people were gunning for him to move heaven and earth so that they could be well known. But Jeffree responded well. He was like, oh, here's some tips for you. And he said the things that I just said, like work hard, be consistent, be creative, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, all that stuff. And then one girl said, oh, Jeffree, I have a really good idea for a palette. And he was like, he interrupted her and was like, no. I come out with all of my own palettes. Save your idea for a company who's interested in purchasing it, because it may be a great idea, but I don't want there to be any legal troubles with my ideas, and all of my ideas are my own. I thought, that's smart. That's a good idea, because what would have happened if he had taken her idea, made a palette, and then later on she was like, but that was my idea? He could be in legal trouble, you know? Especially since I'm sure part of those masterclasses were recorded. I saw people with cameras the whole time. So, you know, it would have been problematic. So a lot of questions about self-promotion, a lot of questions about sneak peeks, a lot of questions about, like 2 questions about whether or not he was gonna marry Nate, and Jeffree like didn't even want to answer those. Not as many questions to MMMMitchell, but I think that's because a lot of people I'm gonna wash my face eventually. A lot of people were more interested in seeing Jeffree than MMMMitchell. I think MMMMitchell is more famous in the UK, and a lot of the people there were from the UK, but I just think his platform is not as big as Jeffree's. MMMMitchell is coming out, or I think he's just shown it a couple days ago. He came out with some new like face paints with P. Louise. They look really nice and really fun, so if you like kind of like cream paints, you should go check those out. MMMMitchell is also working on a bunch of new collabs, and he's coming out with his own makeup tools line sometime soon. I don't know if they're gonna be, you know, inexpensive or expensive, but they're coming out soon. Well, I've been filming for 30 minutes and this mask is not all the way off. So I am going to wash this off and I'll be right back to tell you my final thoughts. Okay guys, I'm back, and I have to say, My pores and my skin, I know I have like little pimples and stuff, but I don't know if you can tell, but my skin looks so soft and smooth and my pores look way less big. So I would highly recommend this mask, and I might have to repurchase it because I've used it 2 or 3 times now and I'm running out. I got an Boxy Charm, of course, because that's where I get all of my stuff. Anyway, so here's my like final wrap-up thoughts on the Masterclass. Oh, I didn't even talk about what I got in my bag. So more about the gift bag that I got. I'm gonna pull up a photo and I'm gonna put it in this video just so I can tell you what I purchased, so I don't forget anything. And I'm also gonna put some photos of the look that I did and photos of the Jeffree Star Masterclass that I took from all the way back in my seat. So they're a little blurry, but you'll get the idea. Okay, so these are all the things that I received in the box, and take into account that this is a small bag because this was the cheapest bag. Okay, so I got 4 pairs of Tatti lashes, the TL40, the TL24, the TL25, and the TL30. I will put up the prices of those here. I also got the Tatti lashes baby blenders. They're like tiny sponges. They're very soft, and I used them throughout the trip to kind of like, you know, blend out my under eye concealer. Yeah, that's about it. And maybe blend around my nose. But they're super cute and they're very soft, and there are 10 of them. I got the ISOClean makeup brush cleanser, which is just kind of like a makeup brush disinfectant. It comes in a big old bottle, and then it has like a plastic covering for it, but that plastic covering you use in your cleaning process. So there's like a little plastic cap, and what you do is you pour the liquid into the cap, and then you use your brush and you swirl it around until it's clean. And then what you do is you take the brush head over the sink and you kind of squeeze it out, and it smells a lot like rubbing alcohol, so I'm sure that there's a disinfectant property in it, which I think is great, especially if you're a working makeup artist, or if you're planning to do your makeup on somebody, or if you just kind of want to disinfect your brushes. The only thing is that normally what I do is I use a Dove soap, and I wash my brushes on the bar of soap, and I try to gently get all the soap in there. I feel like it does a heavier clean, except for it doesn't disinfect as well. And also I felt like after I used the ISOClean a little bit, the brushes were a little drier, and they smelled like rubbing alcohol, but that didn't bug me as much. It's just expensive to buy a separate brush cleaner, but maybe if you're looking for something to really disinfect, that would be a good item for you to purchase. Then I got 2 Velour liquid lipsticks, one in the shade, oh, I don't have them here, but I'll explain them to you anyway. I got one that was more of a like brick red color, but almost more on the neutral side. I really love it. I'm not a big liquid lip person, but these liquid lips were quite nice. The only thing is that if you have dry lips, and I have very dry lips, they will kind of emphasize a little bit of the dryness on your lips, but they performed really well. I don't do very bold lips almost ever. So I kind of used that red brick color and I kind of blotted it a little bit, and it was quite nice, and it lasted for a reasonable amount of time. But if you want that lasting power, you have to just let it dry, because otherwise it's gonna come right off. The other Velour liquid lipstick I got was a kind of a red, shiny, glittery liquid lipstick. I believe it's more metallic than glittery, but I don't wear that color. So what I did was, on the 4th of July, I used it to do some eyeliner, and I used that for my eyeliner. It worked really well, except for it doesn't layer. I did a red, white, and blue look, of course, super well, especially on your eyelid. I think maybe I needed to wait longer for it to dry, but it would kind of bunch up and then kind of peel off if you weren't careful about the way that you were layering it. And also it got all over into my waterline. I was trying to be careful, but it kind of bled into my eye. And Jeffree has said multiple times that their eye's safe, so I wasn't like worried about it or anything. It just made my eye look red for a hot minute. So just be aware and maybe let it dry a little bit more. I'm gonna probably try and use it a couple more times in a couple different ways, because I don't want to waste it, especially since I'm probably not gonna use it on my lips. The other thing that I got was a Jeffree Cosmetics Velour Lip Scrub in Vanilla Mint. Guys, so you know how Jeffree sometimes uses his lip scrubs and then eats it? I thought, okay, it must just taste like sugary and chemically, because that's all the lip scrubs that I've used. This stuff is delicious. You will want to eat it all. It's like sugar and vanilla. How could you not like that? I don't know. It feels like every other lip scrub, but it smells delicious and feels good on your lips, and you use just a little bit every time. So I'm sure that this giant pot is gonna last you for a long time. But guys, if this is like his other lip scrubs, I might go all Pokemon and catch them all. Purchase them with your hard-earned money. And then the last couple of things didn't really come in the box. I got a notepad on my seat and a pen that said Jeffree Star MMMMitchell Masterclass. I'm guessing was for if you wanted to write anything that MMMMitchell used, but he barely talked about the things that he was using because there were so many questions being asked. And then I also got like a fancy lanyard that said, oh, silver tier MMMMitchell Masterclass thing. Like I got a fancy lanyard. It's cute. I have it on my desk right now. Oh, another thing that I forgot to talk about. There were really weird periods of silence where MMMMitchell was doing makeup and the people who were passing around the mics weren't passing them around, so it was just like awkward silence for a while. I don't understand. I'm all over the place because I've only drank this much coffee. Anyway, guys, that completes today's video. I hope you enjoyed this more casual location and more casual kind of video. Maybe you'll get to know a little bit more about how I am and how I talk and my kind of humor from these kinds of videos. And this is a little bit less stressful for me because I don't have to use any of my makeup skills. I can just talk about how much I love it. So if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video. If you comment, I will respond. I still have a small following, so this is just for you and me to communicate in the comments if you want to talk to me. So anyway, have a wonderful day, whatever you're doing. Hope you're enjoying your summer, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.